In this video, guys, I'm going to be breaking down how the SRM blueprint will take you from where you are now, struggling with porn, lacking purpose, lacking direction in your life, and turning you into a man with a sense of purpose, with discipline, with the mindset, skills necessary to overcome this, right? This is the process that will transform you from pleasure to purpose. Now, guys, what is the SRM blueprint? Okay. The SRM blueprint, after working with clients over the last 4 years, right, I found a system that works. Okay. Not only have I solved this myself in terms of NoFap, semen retention, and becoming my best self, but I've been able to help countless guys achieve the exact same results. And what I've learned over the years is that there's one key thing you need to overcome this, right? And it's about finding your deeper purpose in life. Once you can unlock that, once you can figure that out, this is what's going to give you that long lasting success on this journey. The reality of it is, though, is that most men, they lack purpose, right? Most men have no idea what their purpose is. They're going through the motions, they're going through the 9 to 5, they're living, they're reacting to the world, right? They're not being proactive, they're not creating their own reality. Reality is controlling them, right? They are a leaf in the wind. And that is why most guys get stuck in addiction. But not only is purpose crucial and important, you need the skills, you need the mindset principles. Otherwise, the process just doesn't work the same way. But when you combine the mindset, skills, and accountability, success is almost inevitable on this journey if you have the right intention. Missing one of these, you may not succeed, right? The likelihood of you succeeding decreases significantly. So once you've raised your vibration, which is what a lot of guys on this journey are going to learn. Once you raise your vibration, which I'm going to break down in this next image here, is that when you're watching these videos, right, when you're watching adult content, when you're watching porn, a lot of guys are experiencing this state of consciousness, right? You can see where my cursor is. They're experiencing shame. Shame is the lowest vibration. It's the lowest energetic vibration when it comes to life, right? How you see the world, the lens of which you see your reality. You're operating from the absolute lowest state. So you're just not going to be confident. You're not going to be sure of yourself. You're not going to be determined. You know, every guy knows how they feel after they watch porn. Every single guy knows how they feel. They don't feel like they want to conquer the world. They don't feel like they want to approach that girl on the street. They don't feel like they want to ask for a pay rise. They don't feel like they want to quit their job and chase their purpose, right? They just feel weak. They feel low vibration. And a lot of guys are constantly stuck in this cycle for a very long period of time. Now, when you remove this, you essentially raise your vibration just by the act of removing the porn. Your vibration raises, and as a result, you open your mind up to new possibilities. You open your energy up to a whole new world, right? You raise your vibration. And yes, this is spiritual. I'm talking right now, and you guys are thinking like, this is all spiritual. Where's the science? No. This is spiritual. This is the reality of things. And you know, Albert Einstein once said, you cannot solve a problem with the same mind that created it. So why the SRM blueprint is so powerful is that, you know, you have to essentially remove these negative vibrations and you have to remold your identity. You have to find a new version of yourself. You have to let go of the old version of yourself to become the best version of who you are. And that is how we unlock this higher purpose. When we're operating from this low state, it's almost impossible to tap into that higher frequency. It's almost impossible to know what our purpose is. So if you feel lost right now, you don't know what your purpose is. Well, the reason you don't feel like you know what it is because these habits are keeping you stuck on a low vibration. And this is the first step to finding your purpose, right? So how do we do this? If we work together, right? If you work with me, how are we going to get you from where you are now to finding your highest purpose? Well, the SRM blueprint goes through 3 key phases, okay? Phase 1 is called momentum. An object in motion tends to stay in motion, right? Right now, you are an object going in a negative spiral. You're going into a negative direction. And the first thing you need to do is you need to break out of that and you need to change your momentum and change your trajectory onto a positive lifeline. You know, you want to be moving towards the better version of yourself. So the phase 1 is all about changing the momentum, building momentum in the right direction and breaking you out of your thought patterns, breaking you out of the behaviors and things you've been doing that have been keeping you stuck in a low frequency. Now, as you can see here, phase 1 is momentum, right? These are the logical levels of success. So we're going to be working on changing your environment, right? Looking at your environment, seeing how your environment's affecting you, whether it be triggers, whether it be stress, whether it be certain habits that you do day to day that lead you to relapse. Not only that, changing your behaviors daily, Okay, the root, finding the root reason why you're coping, why you're relapsing, implementing certain techniques, okay, that are going to help you transmit and transfer sexual energy into a better place. Transmuting sexual energy, taking that energy you feel, that buildup of sexual energy, and using it, putting it into something, transforming it into something more powerful. And finally, skills and capabilities, right? Getting clear on your why, getting clear on the future self, the new standard, having principles like the mountain mindset and the fire analogy, which are things we can go into. But not only that, once you've done that, you've built the momentum, right? Just like a plane on a runway. It builds up a certain amount of momentum, but once it takes off, the system changes. There's not as much energy, there's not as much force that needs to be put into creating that momentum, right? So in the first phase, yes, there is a lot of intention. Yes, there's a lot of shifting of mindsets. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to really lay the foundations. But once that momentum has been created, changing that mindset, we move into accountability, right? And this is all about clarity and realization. Now, this is what I'm speaking about in this previous slide I have here. You know, clarity and realization is coming out of this low vibration of shame and raising your consciousness, right? Raising your vibration, raising your frequency to a much higher state. And this does take time. When you've been operating in this lustful low state for a long time, it does take time to break out of it. But there is something that happens, you know, for a lot of guys, it happens differently. But when you do really shift this energy, you're able to tap into a new version of yourself, right? You have clarity, you have a realization, you tap into a new version of you have more energy. The guy I described before that you couldn't tap into, you're now the guy who does go up to the girl. You are the guy who goes for that new opportunity. All of a sudden you have more vitality, you have more vigor, you're more sure of yourself. You know, something has shifted in your everything about you. Something has shifted, mind, body, and spirit. And now this is where we work on the accountability. This is where we work on changing your value system, right? Changing your beliefs, making you realize that, oh, this is who I am, right? We're starting to embody the vision of ourselves we want to be. We're starting to change our self-image. We're starting to see ourselves in a different perspective. We're starting to let go of that old version of ourselves. You know, you start to believe, oh, I can actually overcome this. I can let this go. This isn't even needed in my life, you know, because watching porn, watching adult content, it doesn't benefit you in the slightest. Every successful guy doesn't look at porn. Like, it's a vice, it's a weak thing. It's not helping you grow. You set a new standard for yourself. You raise your standard. You become a better version of yourself. And they say it takes 66 days to build a habit. So at this stage, you are building that habit. You're making this a part of your identity, right? You're letting go of that former self. These mindset principles, you understand them like that. You know, they're just a part of your awareness. And you start to identify with your higher self. And then finally, once we complete that, you know, it's really about the purpose, okay? Once we've tapped into that new frequency, once we become that higher version of ourselves, we are able to really identify, okay, what is my purpose? What is the next step in my life? What do I want to put all my energy into? And this is the secret, guys. Once we go through this process and we get to purpose, once we find that purpose, bro, this is where it gets crazy. This is where you never want to go back to the old habit, and your life truly does transform for the better. And this is where you start to discover and embody your deeper purpose as a man, right? You feel a sense of fulfillment, you have that level of self-mastery, self-control, and you start to tap into your masculine potential. And following this, we go through the 3 phases. Okay, so these are the logical levels. Phase 1 is really working on this lower level. Now, to break this down, what the logical levels is, if I haven't spoken about it in a previous video and you haven't seen it, is that this is essentially a concept on how we change ourselves in life. These higher areas are more powerful in creating change than the lower areas, right? So changing our environment, changing our behaviors, changing our skills creates change within our life, but not as potently as purpose. Not as potently as, like, when you have a serious purpose in life. I can give you a quick example, right? When people have children, all of a sudden they change like that because they have a different purpose. They have to change. They have to. And that's what most guys are lacking. The reason they're staying in this low vibration and doing these bad habits is because they don't have a reason to be their best. They don't have a reason to operate and need to be sharp every single day. But the problem is most guys don't know how to unlock this purpose. And the way we unlock it is we go through this process, right? We eliminate these bad habits. We tap into our higher self. We change our identity. And as a result, we actually unlock our purpose, okay? And that is what these 3 phases of the program are designed to do. So guys, within the program, obviously, we have mindset, okay? Now, the thing is, most guys, they have the wrong mindset. Despite having purpose, you still need to have mindset, all right? Most guys fail NoFap just off the bat. They can't even get past a week or 2 weeks. Like, they're completely addicted to lust because they're missing these key principle mindset shifts, right? Mindset is your toolbox for success, right? It's your weaponry, it's your ammunition. You know, it's the thing you have to use when that issue comes up, when that urge comes up. It gives you a sense of confidence, right? Knowledge is power. So having the understanding of yourself, having the understanding of how to identify and prevent lust, reconstructing your self-image, having something like the mountain mindset as a principle to live by, you give yourself a sense of confidence. You no longer have a sense of self-judgment. You know how to deal with relapses. You know how to deal with everything. And these skills bring awareness. They bring confidence in yourself that, oh, I can do this. I know how to overcome this, right? But mindset alone only does half the work, you know? And that's one of the key things, is that with mindset is super important, but it only does half the work. Next up is accountability, right? Accountability is crucial on this journey, because at the end of the day, guys, iron sharpens iron. Having a mentor, having a coach, having a community, being around people that are trying to be their best self or already are their best selves, you know, that's going to give you a certain energy. It's going to give you a certain like osmosis that makes you want to be better, makes you want to level up. Even just seeing someone, because remember, the brain needs proof, not promises. Even just seeing someone who's achieved the thing you want to achieve, it gives your brain proof that it's possible. We all have blind spots. So having a mentor, having a coach, they can pinpoint those blind spots for you. They can see where you're going wrong. They can see where the mindset is not working properly. So yes, the principles in themselves are great, but you need someone to install those skills. You need someone to install those mindset principles and then keep you on the right track with them until you've mastered them, okay? Every elite athlete, every entrepreneur has mentors. Like Cristiano Ronaldo has tons of mentors, you know. Best entrepreneurs invest all the time into improving themselves. This is just what you have to do. So, you know, you don't see a professional boxer walk out into the ring by himself. He always has a coach. He always has a trainer. To be our best selves, we need coaches. We need mentors. We're not here to do things by ourselves. It's very foolish to do that. But you want to find someone who's where you want to be, right? So with this, you know, myself, I've achieved, you know, for my clients, I'm someone who's achieved what they're trying to achieve, right? I've already mastered semen retention, NoFap, and I've helped others to do it. So this is someone who's ahead in the journey that they're trying to accomplish. And this is, you can apply this to anything, right? Because you want to shadow success in life. You always want to mirror people that are where you want to be, and you want to shadow and do what they did because you know it works. If they've achieved it, they must have done something right. But environment is stronger than willpower, okay? So going back to those logical levels, you know, being in an environment, taking calls, being in a community where everyone is on a certain wavelength, that's going to override you just using your own willpower and forcing your way to success, okay? So that's why accountability is so important on this journey alongside mindset. But finally, the most important of them all when it comes down to this, guys, is purpose, okay? Purpose is the most important out of them all. Now, this is the Japanese concept, ikigai, and it's essentially combining what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. Now, I believe that when you get to a much better level, you really build your individual, you know, they call it the individuation process. When you find out who you are, you find that deeper reason. And this is what it's all about, guys. Authentic path in life. This is unique to you. No one else knows what your purpose is. I don't know what it is, right? Only God and you know what your purpose is. I can only help you find it. I can only help reveal it to you, but it's within you. And, you know, this is a good way to kind of implement your purpose into the world. Ikigai translates to reason for being in Japanese. So we need a deeper reason. We need a deeper reason why we're doing this, because when we have a solid purpose, right? I'll give you an example with me. I'm a coach. I'm here to help guys become their best self, right? Now I've got that purpose. I've got that responsibility. I have to fulfill these daily processes. I have to fulfill, you know, not going back to the bad habits I was doing when I was 16, 17 years old, because then I would be disingenuous to my clients, right? I wouldn't be able to stand here and help people. So having that deeper purpose gives us, upholds our values and gives us a reason why we need to be our best self. And this is the catalyst for long-term success. This is why you don't need to be coached forever, because once you've got that purpose, once you've got the principles, once you've mastered it, you can then just go on and keep implementing that purpose. And that's what's going to keep automatic success with this journey, because you've completely changed your identity. But yeah, you're fulfilling your masculine potential, right? When you have your purpose, when you're on it, that's when you're going to feel the best. your purpose energizes you. Like when you're doing a job you hate, when you're working for someone else, you're following someone else's goals, it's heavy, it's hard, it drains you because it's not for you, it's someone else's goal, and that's causing you to use your own willpower. But when we're on our true purpose in life, right, when we're following our God-given purpose, work is play, it's fun. And when we do the right things, we move the needle in our life in the right way for us, whether it be creative, whether it be an entrepreneur, whether it be an athlete, whether it be even just a job, even if you have your dream job, right? When you do that work, you feel energized, you feel lifted up, you feel positive because it's for you. You've actually found your true purpose in life, right? And that's aura. When we're on our purpose, we have aura. People are drawn to us, people are attracted to us because we're following our authentic path, right? Most people can't do this because they're stuck in that low frequency and low vibration. But this is what ensures that long-lasting success on NoFap, right? Having that purpose. And that is what we're going to unlock through the SRM blueprint. Going through the blueprint, going through these principles, getting rid of the addiction, making you become your highest, best self. You then unlock your purpose. You're then able to spiritually tap into your own intuition and go, this is what I want to do with my life. You start seeing the vision of, I want to achieve this, because you're not the same person you were when you begun this, okay? So that's what's so powerful about purpose. And, if you guys are unsure and thinking, okay, well, this is all just theory. Well, it's not, because these are my clients, right? And all of these guys did exactly what I'm explaining right now, okay? Nick, he went on he's doing music now. He's also got his own coaching business. He wasn't achieving that watching porn and masturbation. When he gave that up, completely changed who he is. And now he's on his purpose. He hasn't fallen back into the bad habit. Same with Adrian. He has his own business too, He was struggling with this. You wouldn't think this guy would be struggling with this, but he was. Soon as he solved it, boom, his life changed massively. Trajectory of his life completely changed. A man, I actually spoke to a man the other day. Bro's killing it, man. He's absolutely killing it. And we had this conversation, and you know what? I'll say this. I'm sure he won't mind me sharing it. Is that I said, hey, bro, it was been a while since we worked together. Like, if you hadn't have done this, would you be where you are right now? Bear in mind, this guy's got 25 employees with his company. He's in Forbes. He's in Forbes. You know what I mean? He's killing it. You know what I mean? And I said, had you not done the work we did, would you have achieved the things you've achieved in the last few years? And he said, no way. He said, there's absolutely no way that would have happened. He said, this is what has given me that focus, that intention. This is what's allowed him to find his higher self, okay? And be disciplined, within his life. And finally, Nigel, great guy. He's a professional actor. Again, you wouldn't think, but this guy had this problem. We solved it, okay? We did everything we said. And again, his purpose, he found it. Well, he already actually had his purpose. And that's the thing I want to mention is that you may already know your purpose, but you're being held back from being the best version of yourself to accomplish it. Okay, that's another thing I forgot to mention. Yeah, in Nigel's case, that's what his dream was, to be an actor, right? He's doing it, but because he's in this low vibration, he's not able to be the best actor he can possibly be. Once we solved that, everything changed for him. So with that being said, guys, if you've listened to everything I've just said here and you feel like this is something that you're struggling with, right? You've had this issue, you've been watching these videos, and I know it's a problem, it's a genuine problem, and there's absolutely no shame in it. Every single one of us gets exposed to this growing up. It's just as equally as hard as any kind of addiction, okay? But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to stay that way. If you want to change your life, you want to get rid of this for good, it's been done. Many guys have done it. You have to be ready to commit. You have to be ready to put your full intention into it. But with this system, with this blueprint, it's very, very hard to fail. And I've worked with a lot of guys now. I've implemented this and it's worked. So if you're someone who's interested and you want to have a similar experience, you want to become your best self, best thing you can do is in the description of this video, there is a link on Calendly to book in a 15-minute call, right? That call will be held with myself and we're going to talk for 15 minutes and we're going to identify exactly the roadblocks, exactly where you're going wrong and what you need to implement, what you need to do next in order to solve this problem. So if you're interested, there is a link in the description. There's going to be a few questions in there just to help me on the call. Go ahead and book that in. It's completely free. I would love to speak with you. And even if you're not interested in coaching or whatever, or it may be whatever it is, there's still going to be value on that call to be had. So in the description, please go and book that in if you're interested. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.